I am standing in to lead the meeting today in the absence of our chair and vice chair. Is there a motion for approval of the January 2024 minutes from the last EORC meeting?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Commissioner Balthrop. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Sweet-Cushman. Those minutes from January 2024 are approved. We'll move directly into the plans, starting with project 2402-01. I believe this is with regard to Mount Washington landslide mitigation on William Street side. The prime on this is Allison Park Contractors. Is there anyone here from the prime to speak to the project?
Yes, Dave Scheidler here.
Hi, Dave. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the project and where you are with regard to your percentages?
Sure. Project we bid a couple weeks ago. Cost contract is accurate. It's a specialty contract that sits on the side of Mount Washington, and has some specific drilling and materials that's going to be constructed in this season. We initially bid the project, worked with the commission and actually increased the percentages a little bit more, and sit here today in front of everyone with our best option.
And so specifically right now you're at 6.3% for MBE and 6.4% for WBE.
Correct.
And are any of the subs on the call?
They're not.
Okay.
I am here, however, Commissioner, my name is Tom Tessero. I'm in the Department of Mobility and Infrastructure in the city of Pittsburgh. And Allison Park has worked with Chuck to get to increase the MBE percentage as much as possible for this specialized project.
Thank you, Mr. Tessero. I think we commissioners looked at a similar project with regard to landslide mitigation in Riverview Park.
That's possible. I think Allison Park might be the contractor on that as well.
We are.
Commissioners, does anyone have any questions for Mr. Scheidler or Mr. Tessero?
No, I'm fine. I think we've been through this process before with this company, so I think the same rules sort of apply.
Okay, is that a motion, Commissioner Balthrop?
Absolutely. I make a motion that this project be approved as written.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I second.
Thank you, Commissioner Barnett. All those in favor of approving EORC project 2402-01, say aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Project passes. Thank you for joining.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Commission.
Next, we'll move on to the second project. We have EORC project 2402-02. This is the Enright Park construction. Vermont Stone and Horticulture is the prime. Are they on the call today?
I believe the contract manager is on the call for this one. Andrea is on the call.
Okay. Andrea, can you speak to this project for the commissioners, please?
I can try. I'm actually the project manager for DPW, and Chuck has been handling the back and forth with the contractor. But so this is a project mainly site work for the Enright Park construction. There are I just got these numbers this morning. So the MBE is 1.7%, the WB is 13%, and VOSB 0.05. So the work consists of mainly site work. We don't have really other subs. It's mostly perform. So from what I understand with Chuck is that he's been working to get some increased amounts on MWDBA participation.
Yes, I've been working with Vermont Stone for the last 3 weeks. They've been fantastic working with me. We've been able to increase the percentage from what it was up to what it is now. And we're also working on another 2% MBE to be put on this contract. So it will go up to 17.2%.
Thanks, Chuck.
And thank you, Chuck. And so just for clarification, this is for a playground in the East Liberty area. Right now we have 22,000 in MBE, 173,000 in WBE, and then 6,000 in veteran business.
That is correct, Commissioner.
Okay. And this portion of this particular project is just for the prep for the playground, correct?
It's for the entire project. So we're
Gotcha.
doing site work. This is actually the site behind Whole Foods where the park got kind of chopped in half. So we're redeveloping on the new parcels. So it's a playground, spray park, basketball court, and some associated, walkways. But this is the entire project.
Including the equipment that's going to be placed there?
Well, that's a good question. We're purchasing the equipment separately through our city contracts, CoStar's contracts.
Okay, so Chuck, is there a possibility that they will be back before us with regard to the purchase of, well, not necessarily the purchase of the playground equipment, but the installation of the playground equipment?
I will, once we get the 2%, I'm working with them again today, later, and tomorrow. I'll update you on the extra 2% with the certified letter and the certification of the new vendor that they're going to add. The playground equipment, I believe, is separate. The purchase is coming through the city.
That's correct. Yeah, the Vermont Stone won't have any part in that.
Chuck, I'm asked, for instance, the site work doesn't seem to be that sophisticated. So were there any minority contractors available to assist in that site work? Unless that doesn't seem to be a level of specificity similar to the Mount Washington project.
No, this is different than Mount Washington.
I know,
Yeah.
and that's a level of specificity that we did not have a lot of Black contractors for. I was wondering whether this project was equally as sophisticated, the reason that there are not a lot of minority participation in that.
This contract is not as sophisticated as that one.
Right.
Like I said, I've been working with them for the last 3 weeks, Commissioner. We've gone from about 6.7% to where we are now. And we're continuing to get more percentages from them. For their participation, or for their, speaking Vermont Stone, this is the first time we work with them on the contract. So they weren't too aware of our standards, but they are coming along, and I must say they have been working with me every other day to get more participation. And I did send them a list of the LGBTQ plus folks that we have, businesses, and he's also going to get back to me on those. So like I said, we've been working with these guys pretty good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other commissioner have any questions for Chuck or Ms. Ketzel? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve this project, or is there a motion regarding this project?
I'll move to approve.
Thank you, Commissioner Sweet Cushman. Is there a second?
A second.
Thank you, Commissioner Ballthrough. All in favor to approve project 2402-02? Memory serves me. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? The project passes. Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, commissioners. We'll move to Opasna's report on the ITQ projects.
Good afternoon, commissioners. Thank you all for joining. So we have an update here on the ITQ work orders. There were 3 ITQ work orders, all 3 from DOMI. The first one here is the neighborhood traffic calming design assistance. The prime here is Buckhorn. The project cost is 99. It's 99,945. The there is one WBE on this plan, French engineering, and they've been allocated 24,132. The second plan here is project management support, traffic and planning assistance. The prime here is CDR McGuire, and the sub-consultant here is SP Thomas. They are doing the whole part of the work, so they will be allotted the whole amount, 53,615. The last one here is McCandless Avenue steps replacement. The prime here is HW Lochner, and the project cost here is 42,599. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Opasna. Okay, commissioners, what I would like to do now is in our comments, bring you up on I finished our 2023 report. I've already talked to the mayor about it. We discussed it in length yesterday. As you can see, we have the city totals up first. We reviewed in 2023 over 88 million in city contracts. Our MBE participation is 19 million. Is 19 million at 21.8%. Our WBE is at 14.3%, and our veterans is at 0.01%. So for our city total, guys, we did over 35%, which is great. And it's a little over 3.5% of what we did last year. So we're doing better. Also, I want to show you the overall totals that we did. Here comes our overall totals of what we did this year. Oh, one more. Yeah, here we go. Okay, here's our overall totals. This includes the City of Pittsburgh contracts and the Housing Authority contracts. We reviewed over 180 million in contracts last year. Our MBE participation was 26%. Our WBE participation was 13%. Our VSOB was under 1%. However, we did 39%. That is really a good number, guys. That's a third of our contracts are going to minority and women businesses, which is really good.
Exceptional. Yeah.
Which is really good. So we are doing a great job, and I want to tell you guys that I got a question from Dr. Jenny Sweet-Cushman about how I do this, and I go yearly. Okay, I make our numbers yearly. I don't try to make them monthly on every contract. That'll be impossible to do. And we'll have 5-hour meetings if I did that, right? So we are doing great. I'm gonna let Opasna jump in here and give you the 2023 ITQ update.
Thank you, Chuck. So for 2023, the total work orders First, let me begin by showing you, if you remember, most of you would remember, and you had approved in 2020, there were a bunch of 85 companies that were approved. And those were, it was a whole range of categories from architecture to civil, environmental engineering, landscape architecture. So there were 85 of those companies approved. Then later on in 2022, we had 3 more approved for DOMI. And out of 50 companies that we reviewed, 21 were approved by you in 2021 for IT companies specifically. Then just moving on to the total, the numbers here. As you can see, the most of the ITQ works orders spent, it came from DOMI, followed by DPW and a few from IP and city planning. So the total ITQ work orders amounted to 6.2 million for 2023, out of which MBE constituted about 17%, around 1 million. WBE was 705,000, which was 11.40%, and the veteran-owned businesses was at 3.42%. So the total MWDBE participation aggregated to 1.7 million, that is 28.38%. That's it.
Thank you, Upasna. Does anybody have any specific questions about the report? If you do, please let us know. I'm going to send all you guys a soft copy of the report right after the meeting, so you can view it yourself. Also, I would like to talk to you guys about 2 events that are coming up. All right. The first
prior to that, I'd just like to commend you and your partner in terms of the aggressive approach that you've taken as a result of looking at these numbers. However, there's one thing that I do need you guys to pray on, and that is to sort of increase the prime contractors in both scenarios. And I have a couple of prime contractors that I feel that are very qualified to compete. So I like to, at some point in time, meet with you and your partner to introduce you to these individuals so you can get a feel for them.
Sure thing, Commissioner. And I'm glad you brought that up, because at the end of this report, there is one substantial accomplishment that I put in here. And that is for the first time, we had 3 significant African-American primes on contracts.
Very good.
Right? We had Cosmo Technology on the Homewood Field project as a prime.
Right.
Wallert as a big prime on the Division 4 project. And we have Common Cause on a professional service contract that's about 2.6 million.
Excellent.
So we are moving in the right direction with those. Yes.
Chuck, can you remind us what field Waller is?
Waller's Construction.
Just general construction. Thank you.
And they are the construction contractor on the Division 4. They're getting the whole $5 million, and they have some subcontractors. It came through the ERC. You guys approved it.
Thank you. I just didn't remember what their area of expertise was.
Yeah, construction.
Is their home base Washington, PA, Chuck?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. So I'm glad you brought that up, Commissioner, and I would love to meet some new primes. Today, Opaz and I talked to one of the national Black bonding companies.
Wow.
That want to come in and help us. And they're pretty good. So we're real excited about that. There's 2 events that I want to tell you guys about. March 1st at the Rivers Casino is the MWDBE Governmental Committee event. That's pretty big. We're already up to 650 people registered for that. All our agencies will be there, and our sister agencies. So if you know any small businesses that are interested in procurement opportunities, this is one of the great places to come. The second event is our city event that the Office of Business Diversity gives. and it's gonna be at Shinley Park Ice Rink Facility. If we did it last year, where we had about 100 folks, we're hoping to get 100 plus this year. We're gonna concentrate on certification. We have Sue Broadus coming in to do a presentation on how to get certified. We're gonna have Juan Garrett there from Riverside Innovation telling us all about his things that he can offer. And I'm close to getting this national bonding company to come in to give a presentation, which I think will be fantastic for the meeting. And the city procurement departments, DOMI, all those guys will be there, and our sister agencies.
What was the date on the Rivers Casino?
March 1st. March 1st from 7:30 to noon. And the big thing there is NASA speaking about their procurement opportunities. And the honoree is Miss Carson. African American Chamber of Commerce will be recognized for her work.
Very good.
And I will send you the flyer to that. I will send you the flyer to our event as soon as we're done with it. Our comps team is done with it. And yeah, we'll send you flyers to both those events. And I hope you guys can make our event so you can see what we do and try to do to get more participation on our contracts. That's it for me, guys. Do you have any questions or comments for us?
So great job, Chuck. I did want to follow up very quickly on the new process by which the city is going to look at actual worker diversity and
right,
what that looks like.
yes. Thank you, Commissioner. You guys, I don't know if you guys remember Ricardo Williams. He works in our office now. He is in charge of developing a workforce module to track workforce, the labor market, and in our city. He is aggressively on this. He's already worked with the federal government on it and our state and local folks. Right now, he's in the process of trying to get a system for it. We're either going to attach the workforce module to our B2G Now system, or they're going to go with a whole new system, which is a federal system, LCP Tracker. And that system will help us know who the workforce is on any particular project, both the prime and the subcontractors. It'll drill down into Black, white, Hispanic, Asian. It'll let us know who the prime has as far as employment and what projects they are working on. Oh, and Rick has another caveat with it too. Are they city residents? Right? He wants to know if they're city residents also. So that's what's happening with that, Commissioner, with the workforce development. And hopefully we're trying to get it up and running by April.
And it won't really be retroactive. We can look at some past projects, but going forward, companies will have to indicate the diversity specifics of their workers.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
That's correct. And what we can also do, Commissioner, is when we go back into the past, and I would like to go back to the beginning of 2023, that'll help us evaluate companies for future procurement opportunities, right? When we look back on them and say, hey, you only had X amount this time of minority women or workers, we expect you to improve that this time. So we can take a look back. There's nothing we can do, of course, but we can take a look back.
Right. So Chuck, I'll say again, and just for the purposes of this being recorded, I think Commissioner Barnett and I spoke to it last time. There has to be a commitment from, I think, the city, the county to increase, training opportunities for workers that we have here within the city. Because I think in some construction positions, there is a lack of some available workers here in the city of Pittsburgh, but we have to have training opportunities and workforce opportunities. And the federal government, I know, is bringing some things in. So we have to have a full court press to get people trained to be able to take advantage of these job opportunities that are available so that the numbers are there.
I agree with you, Commissioner. And I believe Rick is also working with the master builders. What's his name?
With Lance Harrell.
Yes, he's working with Lance on this. Yes,
And they should also work with Chiquita. I mean, she's
Yes.
been doing the work for years.
yes. And what I'll do is make sure Rick circles around with Commissioner Barnett to make sure she's up to date and involved in what's going on.
Okay, thank you both very much. Thank you, commissioners. I have nothing further.
Thank you so much for bringing that back up, Trace. I'm ready to talk with anyone about how we can get more diversity on some of these large jobs that are coming through this review sessions.
Right. And I'll make sure that happens. And also, just an update, the parking authority is coming back to us next month, guys.
Good.
So Chris Holt and I have been working on a project that the parking authority is going to do, the Mellon Garage, and they're coming back to the ERC. And Chris is trying to get 25 and 10% on this multi-million-dollar contract. So they'll be back to us in March. I think the RFP closes at the end of this month. So I'm hoping to get them back on the March agenda.
Excellent.
So that'll give us housing authority and parking authority back. And I talked to the mayor about PWSA, and he's going to talk to them about coming back.
That's fantastic.
Congratulations.
Making progress.
Yep. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you guys. I really do.
Thank you, everyone. I have, again, nothing further.
Thank you, Commissioner Lewis, for running the meeting for us. I appreciate it. And I appreciate all you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Take care.